Inventions. I, on behalf of IPTSE, extend a warm gratitude to Ms. Jaspreet Kaur, Assistant Professor, the Pharma School LPU, who was able to manage their time from their busy schedule and grace the webinar. On the behalf of IPTSE, one of its kind IP Olympiad, I would start the webinar by quoting Craig Venter: "Intellectual property is a key aspect for economic development." This quote stands correct as economies today run on ideas and development. Currently, the world giants in terms of valuations are companies which are born out of ideas and work with research. Here, I have the pleasure to share that IPTSE is working in the field of IPR with the aim of improving IPR literacy and embodying young minds with the concept of monetizing their ideas and creations, thereby promoting growth of research and development and becoming a harbinger of economic growth in the country. Without wasting much time, I would first invite our director, Mr. Saurav Sachdeva, to please address the esteemed audience and inaugurate the webinar.
Thank you, Navit, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the online webinar on the patentability requirements and the non-patentable invention. I would like to welcome, first of all, Dr. Jaspreet Kaur, Assistant Professor, the Pharma School LPU. And also thanks to Dr. Ruju Tandon for arranging this event. I would also like to thank Ms. Ankita Tyagi, Deputy Head IP and Projects at European Business and Technology Center, EBTC, for joining us today. Thank you so much. Intellectual property is going to play a major role in the bringing up the economy of the nation in the coming times. Today, corporations and firms are looking forward to hire individuals who are having the IP knowledge. So it is therefore important for you, especially as a student, to have an awareness and knowledge of intellectual property as you start shaping your careers. Intellectual Property Talent Search Examination, IPTSC, aims at helping you take the first step towards starting an IP mindset. IPTSC is working very aggressively to create the IP awareness across India, and we are having a vision and mission to touch base 10 million, which is including students, working professionals, faculties, and other audience, digitally and physically by 2025 to promote the IP. The initiative was launched in the 2018, and since then we have already completed 4 editions of IP Olympiad, and which have been successfully completed and supported by government bodies like AICTE, NRDP.
Hello.
So the same have been supported by NRDC, METI, Department of Science and Technology, PSCST, and IIF Gujarat. It identifies young talent through the annual exam that is taken online, covering various questions on several aspects of IP, which includes the patents, design, trademark, geographical indication, and trade secret. I'm happy to announce that we have also launched the 5th edition of IPTSC on 1st of September this year. Thanks to Ericsson for coming forward and supporting this initiative and enhancing the IP literacy in the country. We would also like to thank Creative First and Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce for supporting us as the knowledge partner. I would also like to mention that IPTC Academy, we have already signed, which is more than 25 MOUs in last 1 year. So our team would also take you through the complete details of the 5th edition of IPTSC. Thank you once again, and I welcome everyone once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your inaugural and introductory words, which have set the tone for today's topic. Now I would request Ms. Jaspreet Kaur, Assistant Professor, welcome the participants and our speaker. Jaspreet ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. My connection was lost.
I think meanwhile, I mean, whenever she is joining, so I think we can proceed ahead, no?
Yeah, okay. So moving forward, I would like to invite our speaker, Miss Ankita Tyagi, Deputy Head, IP and Project at European Business and Technology Center. Ankita is responsible for promoting innovation and bilateral cooperation of Europe and India by identifying and liaising with the relevant stakeholders through collaborations. She is an expert in curating international market access programs for startups and SMEs. She has an experience of 13 plus years with the government and industry. She is also a certified IP expert and master trainers of patent information resources. She facilitates and promotes innovation and bilateral cooperation of Europe and India by identifying and liaising with relevant stakeholders through collaborations. Responsible for the international trade and development industry in negotiation, patent filing, business development, and strategic planning, in particular to the Europe and India business corridor. She is also intensively involved in spreading IP awareness beside working on policy issues related to use of intellectual property in promotion of science and innovation. Uh, she would enlighten our participants on the topic of patentability requirements and non-patentable inventions and share with them the intriguing concept of monetizing of their ideas. I welcome you, ma'am, in this webinar. Thank you for taking out the time. Before we start with the topic, I would like to share a video of the fourth edition's award ceremony. Please, can you share the video?
Participants, request you to please mute your mics. You may unmute only whenever you have any queries during the webinar. Otherwise, please keep yourself muted. Thank you.
Utkarsh, can you please check? I think if you can mute all and you can just unmute the speaker.
Sure, sir. Just a second.
Shall we continue?
I think all of them are on mute as of now. You can begin with the video, I guess. Yeah.
Utkarsh, can you share the video, please?
Sure. Okay, so hey everyone. What I'm sharing right now is a clip of fourth edition IP Conclave Awards.
India is on the cusp of a big IP renaissance. innovation in both adjudication and in administration. You are the people who are going to enable this country in this knowledge economy. The way you're contributing to Atmanirbharta of the country, it's an unparalleled, I would say, initiative from your side. I would commend the job of role of IPTSE, wherein you are reaching out to schools. When they grow up, they take this subject of IP very consciously, and they don't take it as a hindrance. So when we're talking of innovation, we're talking about IP coming together. We should really look at the export potential of this market.
Thank you, Utkarsh. Now we are going to share a small presentation on IPTSE's 5th edition. Can you share the presentation, Utkarsh? So in this presentation, we are going to give the details about the 5th edition. Next slide, Utkarsh. So IPTSE was launched in July 2018. It is an initiative of Epethicon, an educational academy. It is first of its kind IP Olympiad. It's a nationwide Olympiad. And we have been awarded by World Intellectual Property Forum as an appreciation towards the contribution in IP awareness. We have successfully culminated 4 editions, and 5th edition has already been launched on 1st of September 2022. Next slide, Utkarsh. These are our honorary advisor panel. So we have a lot of dignitaries from various corporates of this industry. Next slide. So our past editions have been supported by various corporates and government bodies, such as our industry partner was Ericsson for the past 4 editions, and our knowledge partner is Creative First, and MSME, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, AICTE, NRDC, FICCI are some of the few names who have supported us in the past editions. Next slide, Utkarsh. These are the achievements of our 4th edition IPTSE. Basically, we have created a unique dashboard with the access to the learning material for each exam aspirant. 50 plus webinars have been organized. 50 plus awardees were facilitated with awards, trophies, certificates, internship facilitated to the winners basis selection through the interviews launch. We have also launched a key e-copyright handbook that is made freely available to all the exam aspirants. Next slide, Utkarsh. So the chief guest and the guest of honors of our various annual awards and IP conclave are Shri Suresh Prabhu, first and second edition of IPTSE award. Then Shri Anil Sahasrabuddhe was our chief guest for the 3rd edition, and in the 4th edition, Honorable Justice Pratibha M. Singh, Judge High Court of Delhi, was our chief guest, and guest of honor was Professor Unnat Pandit, sir. Next slide, Utkarsh. So let's begin with the IPTSE's 5th edition details. So for this 5th edition, our industry partner is Ericsson. Our knowledge partner is Creative First. And we have been supported by various government bodies such as AICTE, NRDC, PSCST, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, MSME, and FICCI. Next slide, Utkarsh. So the unique features for this 5th edition are we have created a learning management system that is going to track the reading performance of the participants. We have also built an app which will make the process easier and user friendly. There are provisions of e-learning material through a unique dashboard. There will be AI picked questionnaires, which is very domain specific. So a student of pharma will have different questions as compared to one with a legal background. We have also given free handbooks on copyright case studies. There are almost like 100 case studies there. Different time slots are available for the mock test and the final examination. So we are just not focusing on the students, but we are also focusing on the working professionals and startups. So we have given different times. There will be an ease for every participant. Next. So the timelines for this 5th edition are our registrations have already been started from 1st of September and they are going to end on 25th of November. The mock test dates are from 10th of December to the 15th of December. The final examination is going to held on 16th to 22nd of December. So there are different dates available and different time slots, so you can choose accordingly. The award ceremony is yet to be announced. Next slide, Utkarsh. So the eligibility for the students for the 5th edition are we have two packs. One is the basic pack and the other one is the advanced pack, which is having an advanced reading material. So the fees of this basic pack is 499 for the students, and for the premium pack, it is of 999 rupees. We are giving a discount to your university. So it will be for 999. And as you can see, we are just not focusing on, our motive is to spread awareness on IP. So we are also focusing on working professionals and startup. But for the faculty, we have kept the same fees of 499 for the basic pack and 999 for the premium pack. Next slide, Utkarsh. So the benefits of this exam are as follow. The students will be able to gain knowledge and awareness on IP, certificates and prize money to the top winners, and there are internship opportunities for the top performers basis the selection process. The students will be able to know how to reap the monetary benefits of their creations and innovation, and it will also give a competitive advantage in their career shaping. Next slide, Utkarsh. So this is the award category for the 5th edition. So there will be 3 ranks for the university student: AIR 1, AIR 2 and AIR 3. So they will also get a prize money of AIR 1 will get 50,000, AIR 2 25,000, AIR 3 10,000. We have also kept an award for the faculty. So the AIR 1 will get an prize money of 50,000 rupees. And we have also kept best university award. So there are 3 ranks: AIR 1, AIR 2, AIR 3. There are youth leader awards. So from each university, we are selecting 4 students who are going to represent the university. So there are awards for that as well. And there are awards for the domain specific and IP recognition also. Next slide, Utkarsh. So the exam guidelines are as follow. There are going to be 60 minutes for the university students and there are going to be 60 questions. For the faculty, there are going to be 45 minutes for the same. There is no negative marking. The candidate scoring 40% or above will receive a pass certificate, and the rank holders are chosen on the base of accuracy of answers and the total time taken to complete the exam. So basically, if two participants are scoring the same numbers, so the deciding factor will be the lesser amount of time taken. Next slide, Utkarsh. Thank you so much. Any other questions? Shall we continue with our topic of the webinar?
Yes, I think Anurit, we can, if they have any queries, they can take it up at the end. We can ask Ankita ma'am to begin with the presentation.
Ankita ma'am, the mic is all yours now.
Thank you so much. I was literally hearing each and every aspect, and I was also part of this journey of IPTSE. And thank you for having me here, first of all. And I must congratulate IPTSC for bringing this initiative to next level, actually, wherein you can actually see that in fourth edition, how many people have participated, especially students and other SMEs or the startups. And there is an vision, and and there is I can say that people are able to see the difference now, as lot many people are engaging on this platform, and you are bringing this olympiad where not just a basic knowledge but the experts knowledge, right, in terms of focused areas on specific topics. That's really really good. And I urge all of the students to actually participate in the same. Even the faculties should be guiding their students, that they encouraging their students that they should participate in this olympiad. And definitely it's gonna be very helpful in their future scenarios as well. I mean, not just for the employability but enhancing their skill and usefulness for their, of course, I mean, as they are the backbone of not just I mean, not just their colleges but of course for their own future and India as well. So, okay, let's start with the, as you have already set up the context very nicely, that this is, I mean, what's the relevance of IP? And now this session is going to be focused on basically patentability aspect and the non-patentability aspect, because lot many time we see that we have invention or the technology with us, the idea with us, but next line is, okay, how should I'm going to monetize it? What should be the use for me, at least? And if I want to actually safeguard it, how I'm going to do that? So for that, there are national patent laws are there in India, national IP policies, sort of the National Patent Act, and it not just covers patents but covers the copyright, trademark, and other aspects as well, like semiconductors and plant varieties and GIs, of course. So in this session, I'll focus majorly on the pharma side inventions. And as new and improved drugs are being introduced every in the market, and drug or pharmaceutical patents and become very important, as these drugs usually generate a significant amount of revenue for their commercial benefits. And this sector, you can say, is an area in which innovation impacts the bottom line of any drug manufacturer, even on the research, who majorly focus on research and development of new drugs and incur basically huge cost in doing so. And there is neither a guarantee nor an assurance that the research products will survive various testing stage and will commercially thrive if released on the market. I request all other audience to please mute their mic. And then importance of innovation in the drug industry. What's that? And then innovation in this drug patent is basically, you can say, is a key element which defines the success of drug manufacture. And these innovations provides a high return on investment while creating or developing or testing or launching a new drug, which involves a huge cost. The rate of return or the return cost is going to be successful for a drug, successful drug might be much higher than than would have been anticipated by the owners of the companies while introducing in the market. It also involves the risk basically while developing drugs, and I'm sure that you're aware that for any drugs on the pharma molecule, there has to be lot many appliances will be there, and then for these compliances with other regulatory authorities with FDA approval, and also so the benefit basically drastically you can say outweigh the risk involved in the same, which allows with you can say profitability and better profit margins. And innovation is majorly important in this sector for these companies because more and more money is going to be spent in the marketing and research of potential drugs. And if really these drugs will not see the market in an anticipated time, and the money spent actually is going to be lost for this one. And the innovative approaches are direly, I mean, in this specific area, you can say, usually must be taken to determine how these companies can make a return on investment without losing too much money and time. And while cost of bringing these new drugs to market can be higher, the companies can actually see increase the profits by making current drugs to enhance the success of those drugs and they're currently manufacturing on the market. The process of generating and obtaining FDA approvals for the modified release formulation has actually often affordability and predictability. And if there is no patent incentive, then drug companies would be less inclined to invest in the development of these products. For example, Ambrx, a modified release dosage of for that muscle relaxant, which comprises of cyclobenzaprine and hydrochloride. This is a very good example of improved formulation, which actually have provided the substantial benefit to patients. So combination products which combine to a more active pharmaceutical agents and single formulations can provide significant benefit to patients. And these products have been widely adopted for diseases such as the diabetes or the cardiovascular one, and they are providing the significant advantage over the excuse me, please, monotherapies and resulting in the improved patient compliances. With all this knowledge, I want to set up the context that there is not just a simple way. There are so many huge, you can say, various KPIs and parameters have been involved from the economic perspective as well for the companies and for the nations while going, because whenever you're creating something, you need to test all of your invention on three all patent offices would grant your patents basically on the three criterias, and there are non-patentable criterias as well, because you can't just grant everything as an okay, this is the you can get the monopoly for the same and anything or everything under sun it's going to be patentable. No, it's not like that. So with this I would like to share my screen, and if you have any other question, please feel free to post in the chat box. Later on we'll be taking the same.
Participants, we are once again requesting you to please keep your mics muted. The questions will be answered when you put them in the chat box, so don't worry about that. But please ensure that your mics are on mute. It's a humble request, please.
Okay, so first and foremost, if you have any, and please tell me if my screen is moving.
Ankita, can you put it in the presentation mode?
Yeah, I'm just putting it in there.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's visible. Thank you.
Okay. So the entire Indian pharmaceutical industry can see how it's working. And there are a few factors, very crucial one. Cost efficiency, because of the low cost production and R&D boost in Indian pharma companies. Basically, you can see actually for the year 20, it was US 16.28 billion. It means cost, how we are cost efficient, as you must have heard on various bulletins or the technical releases, or even in the G20 whatsoever things are going on, they always mention this thing, that the cost efficiency. That's why, I mean, we are cost efficient, but we are I'm very much lacking in the R&D part. So we need to boost our efficiency in R&D especially. And the economic drivers. Of course, high economic growth comes because of the mass adoption of the things and increasing penetration of course, health insurance part, because there are private health insurance players and then public health insurance players. So actually, there's a huge push in this the expenditure on the especially after COVID-19 scenario. Not just the infrastructure, but a huge push towards the medical instrumentation side as well. That's why there is a policy vision as well for the same from the vision document of 2020, which is aimed at making India as an actually on the forefront of with the Atmanirbhar initiative and various other digital initiatives. It's we want to create end-to-end drug manufacturing. Here we are seeing the drug manufacturing, but there are various other programs as well. We are seeing in semiconductor fab facilities and face manufacturing, ICT. So not just in one area, but in other areas as well. Because if you say right now I'm mentioning the drug manufacturing, but what if you are creating a product which is actually focused towards the medical instrumentation side, or the or might be for preparing the nanomolecule, or whatsoever thing in biophysics, or in metabolic processes. So for this thing, various initiatives are already existing, and there huge push from the government, from the industry to create end-to-end manufacturing side. And of course, with this, there are gonna be increased investments. So as in cumulative FDI flow targeted around to US to a dollar 16.86 billion from 2000 to 2020, but now it has been actually twice. It has enhanced to it twice because of the current scenario of Russia-Ukraine war as well. And now there is a plus one policy from there is no Russia, China is out of the picture. Now India can be seen as a prominent market for the same. And as there are various differences in the patentability aspect of section 3D in term because secondary amendments are not allowed in India, but in Europe it's allowed, and in US also a different altogether different lobby is playing. But in India, our focus is going to be towards giving a huge push for R&D. So in general, what are the principles of patent law? This should be a novelty, new invention, it should be inventive, and then industrial applicable. That's a must for anything, because if whatever you have created it's of no use, no one can use it, you are just sitting on it for with the monopoly. So it's actually should not be going in the patent. That's why this critical factor of industrial application has been nowadays focused very highly, even from the Indian Patent Office, even in the industry, that whatever you are creating, it should be of industrial applicability, and then should be exclusive. It should not be very obvious, should not be very obvious to anyone, any expert of the industry. Even a student can say, or a faculty can say, oh, this is something I can really do this. I mean, it's just a matter of minutes that I can literally reverse engineer it. It should not be the case. So it should be novel and unique. Your invention, whatever you are creating, should have an inventive step in that. It should be applicable in any industry, and not in any industry, but whatever you're forcing that it yes had been utilized in a process or in terms of a product or in any other even enhancing the processes. And it should not in a category of any exceptions, especially in the non-patentable scenario. So in the next slide I'll show you this one. So a critical aspect in pharma perspective, we always say the patent is going to provide to you an exclusive right over your product or processes. And in India, earlier, no products were allowed, but now it has been incorporated that yes, any product or the process are allowed as a patentable feature, and it generally provides a new way of doing something. It's in layman language. If someone will ask you, or you want to keep all these factors in mind, so you're going to be on 3 keywords: should be patent, non-obvious, on the industrial applicable. So whenever you are thinking about an product or process, so all these factors should come to in your mind. And then patent is granted for yes, tenure is 20 years, and with each year annual renewal of the same from the filing of the application. And of course, patent is known as a territorial right. So, but wherever you are enforcing, I mean, if you're taking rights for the India, then it's gonna be for India. And if you want to go for abroad, you have to file the PCT, that is under the Patent Cooperation Treaty. And likewise, you can go to Europe and choose a selected member states. And then for US, you have to file separately. And of course, our Patent Act is actually ruled by the 1970, and there further amendments are going on. Guidelines are coming up for the specific subjects like for AI, for biotech, for pharma, and for the ICT likewise. In pharmaceutical or biotech related inventions, if we see, so patent claim is basically related to any product. I'm talking about right now only pharma. It's in active ingredients, because active ingredients in day in out, you must have seen lot many things. You must have been working on, you're reading theoretically on the active ingredients, which actually what are they? They're such independently or might be jointly creating the formulations using any drugs or the isomers or any related to these subject matter specifically. So actually these active ingredient can come under the patent claiming whenever you're drafting the patent. So if you're creating using something an active ingredient, then yes, you can go for that. And if you're creating some new molecules, so it should incorporate some technique which is actually enhancing its efficacy or the dosage improvement or the improvement, then only it's gonna be as an patentable. And next thing is that whatever you are creating, it should be contributing in any process, might be in product or might be incorporating the both. Then your claim can say, yes, it's going to be further patentable. So in entirety, we can say in pharmaceuticals, there is a very narrow range for the developments, which actually can be say as gone for the patentability criteria, not each and everything, especially in as I've earlier mentioned in previous slides, the secondary amendments or secondary medical usages are not allowed in India right now, and big pharma companies are still facing huge issues around it. So there are different aspects of pharma patents. Drug compounds involved, synergistic combinations involved, process, products are involved, technology patents are involved, and synergistic combination in terms of not just in polymorph others, as that clearly mentioned that for synergistic one, polymorphs are there, and stability to increase the stability or by reducing the impurities or any versions of you are improving on the improved versions of original one. Yes, and then there are mutual impact to increase the efficiency and efficacy. Then jointly you can say any drug you have created, if you are improving or enhancing the efficacy, then yes, it will come under synergistic combination. Drug compound pattern and purely it's for its chemical structure, and then it should be intended to provide or any you can say widest protection for inventor of a drug or the companies basically who are preparing a similar drug, because that many companies are actually once in a while they've created something, of course a lot money have gone in that even that time. But what if there is a mass usage is there, and that's why they have to just just focus on the same and preparing so for the existing one or the similar one, they just want to with a small efficiency, they want to create something new, right? Because timeline plays a very crucial role, and even the impact of the chemical uses or the drug doses uses actually gives results in a year of time. It shows with the samples, yes, and even companies observe the same, that yes, this is the impact of the same, and now there's a need to improve the dosage or the formulations. Then it goes in. And the process patent, of course, if you create a particular process which is with different temperatures or with the increased efficiency, or using the ups, I mean, various limitations and the same, then you have created a particular product, then yes, of course, it's gonna be under the patentable subject matter. For technology, because if you are creating any drug components or the molecules, of course, there are a lot many processes will be there, and you're going to use various technology parts. And if we have created a process or a technology actually using all these processes, that's increasing the stabilization or any improvement it is incorporating, then of course you're going to get the patent for the same. So non-patentable inventions, because of course we always say it should be patentable, three criterias are there, but major question first thing you always see for the non-patentable inventions, because if you actually release those non-patentable side, then you're going to focus on your patentable aspect, as in key crisp pointers from the patent office. It should not be frivolous or any fabricated one. It should not be copied from someone. It should not be stolen for someone else. It should not come on the morality. It should not cause any threat to any animal or the humans or the cloning or these kind of subject matter. It should not be a mere discovery. It should not be a, you can say, invention which is just by knowing the existing steps or the process or product, you're just arranging them in a different manner. You're showing, okay, yes, I have created this thing. No, it's not like that. Any method of agriculture, horticulture. Why specifically? Because we are our majority of the population does agriculture. They go for agriculture, and there is not, I mean, even for the GMOs and the things, there's a big fight among the companies and the government. So limitations are there for the agriculture, horticulture, because you can't just put your flora and fauna for the subject of patentability. Yes, anyone can just see this one for the mere discovery. They're just merging the two genes and then showing, okay, fine, I've created this modified product and I want to get to take this thing. No, it's not like that. If you have created something significantly, even for the gene sequencing and other, there are a lot many guidelines for the formulations, because you just can't use a gene which is existing in your body and just by manipulating it, by inserting it in different RNA or DNA, you have created something else. But it should not be like this. So there are very strict and stringent guidelines for the same, even in the Europe or in the USA. So specifically mentioned any process of treatment of humans for the plants, as in therapeutic or surgical diagnostic, it's not gonna be patentable one. Mathematics, business, algorithms, of course, lot many people, whenever in computer related inventions, it comes under for that, because what all these algorithms make of these algorithms, they, if you're just created an app, it's basically an algorithm. It doesn't involve any standalone feature in the same. You can run in anywhere, right? So it's not showing any improved efficacy. You have to show some tangible outcomes, then only you will get. In case of computer related inventions, you're going to get the patent the moment you will show the tangible improvement in any process, or or any using the software. You have created something very efficiently, then of course you will get the patent for that, but not for this one. They're copyrightable subject matter. And literary, dramatic, or artistic work, yes, they are copyrightable subject matter. They're not under patent. And any presentation of information or process, because I'm sure you must have heard previously, in initial days, Amazon single click. So the e-commerce platforms, there's a, so the on the web pages, they are showing the schematics, or they're using the, just putting up the things in stacks. Any products who are actually available normally in physically, so they are putting it online for the, and if they, for that single click they have asked for the patent. These are on the business patterns. In USA it was prevalent practices earlier, but not nowadays. They have just scrapped this thing. No, and this kind of business methods gonna be patentable. Topography, it's basically for schematics in semiconductor physics, and hence any duplication of traditional knowledge. Of course, we have traditional knowledge database, TKITL, which is taken care by the CSIR. So it's actually these kind of inventions also doesn't come in picture. So we can say crisply that section 3 and 4 provides a list of inventions which are not patentable subject matters. So section 3D, I want to highlight the thing in here because of the peculiarity and complexity of the subject matter, which pertains to biotechnology inventions. It brings a great discussion, not just in India, but the worldwide. And we see the impact of these inventions in our daily life, which is actually very much evident. And sharing knowledge through patents not only promotes the innovation, but also allows our researcher to create even better ideas, right? And these criterias, the patentability and even the non-subject matters, the Indian patent rights provide basically mutual benefit to both stake, to the holder and the user of patented medicine by, the drugs, by considering socio-economic welfare of the society. So as per the section 2 we just described, so patentability criteria is written. 3, 4 is going to be the non-patentable invention, and 2 and 3 uh, especially are the major reasons for the rejection of patents filed in India. And I will share with you a case study as well of rejected patents under section 2. And section 2 basically describes the patentability criteria of inventions, right? So majority of the time, the interpretation, even the rejections from the patent office, comes under section 2J, 2JA, and 21AC. So 2J says that invention means a new product or a process which involves an inventive step having the industrial applicability, right? And 2J involves the invention which show technical advancement in comparing with the existing knowledge, which should have some industrial applicability and or both, and it should not be a I mean to say that all these 3 criteria of patentability should be in there. And then 21AC specifically mentions about the capable of industrial application, because lot many times in earlier times especially it happened that patents have been granted but it has been used to abuse it. It has been used to create the monopoly, not the usage in particular. Inventors just sitting holding to with themselves, they're not giving to anybody, they are asking for the huge royalties or whatsoever things. That's why even this 21AC specifically asks for capable of industrial application. Lot many have been rejected. I'm sure that this is under section 3D. So first I will explain this one, then I'll go for the rejected case. So in this one, it has been mentioned that a mere discovery of new form, I'm sure there's whatever questions you'll have, a lot of times it comprises of this aspect, that I have created something, I have created new form of this with the new efficacy and all these things. So just keep in mind, if you have created something with it's not just the discovery, but you have created something which is actually creating even in the 0.01 or 0.002 this kind of percentage in terms of efficiency or efficacy, then yes, you will get the patent. But if you have just came to know about the new use for the known substance or the mere known process or any existing machine for the new product, then of course it's not gonna be patentable. For example, it's a very good example actually, paracetamol and nice and all these tablets are there. If you have because they have these kind of properties and you have created anything, something new with the same thing as an analgesic, no, you're not going to get the patent. But if ethyl alcohol is there and then you have created something with the similar kind of properties, it shows, exhibits gasoline additive, then of course you are not going to get the patent for this one. And then might be you will say in this one that yes, you have quoted that it should be industrial applicable, and I have shown a new property used as in gasoline one, and it is going to be huge impact on the mass adoption for the processes for the industrial applicability should be patented, but no, it will not get patent. So in very you can say very few words, a new property of known substance is not considered as a patentable subject matter. So in 2005, there are few amendments in there, because earlier I mentioned that there's no product patent was there. So in this one, when 2005 amendments came, so at that time, products have been incorporated, and few things focused on evergreening as a second medical usage, they say, in India, basically. So of course, focus of an entirety, even the national patent policies or any act is focused on life-saving drugs. It's for the people of any country. It's not gonna to provide the best healthcare. It's not for just for the industry to make money or getting the return on investment. So of course, if you hear about the compulsory licensing or all these cases are actually focused on just to provide the very good healthcare facilities to the citizens, or creating the life lifeguarding measures for the citizens. It's not for the industry. That's why whatever amendments are there have incorporated. So it's in the view of the well-being of the citizens, not for the industry purpose only. So earlier it was a scenario that no products have been allowed, but after there were lot many committees have been set up using the in WIPO and other places. They have argued that if India needs to comply with the TRIPS, then you have to give the product patents as in comes under should come under the grand umbrella. Then it has been taken a very big decision from the government of India side, then yes, products have been incorporated in the same. This is a very famous case of Novartis AG and Union of India. I'm sure that you must have heard even any of the previous IPCD's lecture, or you must have read in the newspapers that Supreme Court has given this historic very milestone decision for the drug from anti-cancer drug Gleevec. So Novartis got a very big blow in this one. There are so many debates. Debates have gone, I mean, globally, not just in, in India, that why it has been rejected, but actually for keeping its view as for the cancer, because if you're seeing, I mean, in previous slide only I have mentioned that whatever is the focus of, I mean, any economic activity, any policy issues, but always prima factor in granting patents or all these things are gonna be the well-being of the human beings or the citizens. So that's why cancer has been so prominent, and all these cancer patients gone for so many turbulences, and if they are, end up paying so much to for the drugs, it's not gonna be proven motive for any for this for even the authorities of India. So that's why this decision has been taken by the Supreme Court to just reject this Swiss pharma company anti-cancer drug. And the ground they have stated as it doesn't exhibit any known therapeutic efficiency over its earlier form, as the Second Amendment we always say. And afterwards, Novartis has challenged this argument that you have to reconsider that what I mean how you're interpreting Section 3D in this one. But decision is decision, and then of course that's from Supreme Court have said that whatever you're considering as the novel or the inventive, but you will not get a patent for because it's also coming under the cost. Of course, whatever you have created will get the big huge cost for the thing, and you are you are going to use as per your will. And of course in Europe wide, whatever you're creating is an evergreening or something, it's okay, but for India it's not gonna be the case. So this is just a brief glimpse, but I would like to highlight in as one of the rejected patent from Indian Patent Office. So this was a case of powder formulation of velgaciclovir, right? So the inventors actually created, I mean, in velgaciclovir basically exhibits physical, chemical, and the light stability properties when stored in usual suggested condition. But for the short-term stability, liquid dosage should be there, right? So the invention is actually consisting of creating for the short-term duration. So what they have provided that if pH is below 3.8, then velgaciclovir stability can be stored by using another component, another citric acid. But it has been always already was in the prior art, and that's why, I mean, because it's a very obvious thing and it's not novel, although you're providing it for the short term stability, then it has been rejected. And there's no technical advancement patent examiners have seen from the patent office. So all these two criteria involved, non-obviousness and non-novelty, so they have rejected this one. And they have stated the ground on Section 21A of Patent Act, and you can I mean there I'm sure there are gonna be various scenarios will be there. So yeah, that's it pretty much, because I think all these cases usually evolve with case to case basis. It's not like that you are saying that it's not, it will the case for the big companies, it's gonna be the rejection for the small companies. No, it's not like that. Nowadays, even focus on the assessment of the patentability criteria from the patent examiners are more critical. They're looking for the quality patents, they're looking for each and every aspect. So whenever you are filed, I mean, first step is always to go for the prior art search. If you have gone an idea, I mean, you've got an idea in your mind, even with the this preliminary stage, you should use the existing patent information resources. You should search the existing patent document. You should see the technical landscape of that technology or the innovation, and surround and that then create yourself a report that whether I'm going in forward what should be my timeline, even if I'll pass all tests and whatever recommendation I'll take. So when I'm going to file, at that stage, whether any prior art search will be exhibited or not. So those patent information resources will give you a very good idea for the same. So that's it pretty much from my side. And if you have any questions, please share. And even I always suggest that it's in every session, even I say usually, awareness comes when you get the knowledge, right? So you need to use judiciously all these patent information resources, because they will give you the weapon when you will just see, okay, yes, these are the technology exhibit, and they will give you the problem statement relevant to the industry as well, right? So that's it pretty much from my side. Just a glimpse of our Europe India IP forum. We have various partners. We are just very focused on awareness, support, and commercialization in the Europe India business corridor. That's it. If you have any questions, so please contact me on this email ID.
Any questions?
I'm sure they've got everything. They're
In the
just still
chat box,
processing the
Ankita.
information.
We have one in the chat box. I'll just read it out.
Please.
Uh, yeah. If the applicability is not on huge level, then is it wise to go for patenting that idea? As patenting is costly and it may cause instability in the financial structure of a smaller organization.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very relevant question, I must say, because nowadays, lot many companies are there who are actually, I mean, they're not going for this thing, but initial stages, if you can just file the provisional, even or not even the provisional, if you can just go for the copyright or something, at least safeguard yourself. And if you don't want to do anything, you have to have all of your documents should be in place, so that if there any infringement or any litigation will come to you, then you can actually safeguard yourself from any of these kind of things. Because if anything will come in future for you, then it's gonna be very difficult for you to expense to create all this expense. And might be it will happen that someone use your existing IP, whatever you have created, they will just use it. After seeing it, they will just reverse engineer it, and then they will do the monetization of the same. At that moment, you will realize that actually was not the huge amount, but might be in future. I mean, that's created a big impact. So of course, if in initial stages yourself, you can skill yourself using the existing patent information resources. You should assess your invention first, and then go ahead with the filing, because nowadays lot many schemes are also available even for the small players from the patent office. It's not, I mean, for India it's not going to be huge, but if you're thinking for other markets, that of course, you have to again think about it. Might be you can go for the accelerator program. If you are a very small player, you can go for the accelerator program. And if you find with the terms and conditions, might be you can find a co-owner for the same, who can give you the infrastructure to create the, of course, you would be needed in the lab and the creating the POCs in any invention, any technology. So they will help you out, might be. I mean, there are so many nowadays, so it's so many options are there.
Any other question?
I'm sure that all students have got the idea. I mean, what they would wanted to hear, but a small request from my side that please go for all existing databases, from whether it is from EPU, whether it's from Indian Patent Office, whether it's from WIPO, whether it's from JP. Of course, you will not get the language from there. And try to read all, not just the patent documents, but try to read all the technology bulletins available, or the landscape reports, but because it will give you a second idea of the technology, what's happening, and where is the demand. So you should read all these documents. Therein you will get where companies where companies are creating, right? I think I'm sure you must have heard about the hydrogen mission and all these missions, right? Green tech and EV vehicles. In lot many places, if you see the biochemical composition, different processes are there, products are there. So in that, if you see, in IT, everyone is talking about the areas, but their small areas are there. Technological interventions have been required in the same, even in creating the infrastructure for the charging stations and all these things. Small plug adaptability is there. I mean, so many things. Wire, a cable, which will exhibit the better efficiency, better ruggedness, and all these features. So you have to think through the demand areas. Where is the demand even in the new one? So then you can actually create something, then you will get the mass adoption of the technology itself. So always go for the relevance, see the demand, and then go for it. Even the faculties should train themselves. It should not be the case that one lecture is over, yes, done, tata bye bye, and let's go back to our work. It should not be the case. You should bring all these features using the technological reports, and discussing any case, industry case scenario, discussing any practical aspect of any technology in your classes. Even use all these in your teaching method. You should adopt all these features, then only you will be able to create awareness and the use cases even, and the interest from your students. So these are the, I think, 50 cents from my side.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your words have cleared the doubts in the mind of the participants. The most wonderful part has been how simply and easily you have put down the whole concept, enabling us to get the insights into such a complex matter. Thank you so much, ma'am.
And if they have any other thing, so my request would be that whatever, I'm sure that right now there is no questions, but if any one of them has any questions, so please circulate it further to the organizers, and they will compile the answer and we'll share it back with you.
Sure, we can do that. Yeah.
Jaspreet, ma'am, you want to share something? Any feedback?
And thank you so much for this valuable lesson. Actually, it's very grateful for us that you people have with us, and surely Ankita ma'am enlighten our students with the importance of IPR and the importance of patents in the field of pharmacy specifically. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Saurabh sir, you want to add something?
I just want to say thanks to Ankita Tyagi for joining us, and it was a very wonderful and informative session. I'm sure the all the participants they have gained their knowledge in IP, and I think you've already mentioned, Ankita, that if they are going to have any further question, query, anything clarification related to any subject matter which we have discussed today, so definitely they can also get in touch with us, and we'll try to at least give the answer. Thank you. All done from my side. I think it was a really wonderful event. Thanks to all the participants, and my special thanks to the LPU team who all have managed.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we end our webinar, we would like to share the registration program, registration process video with you all, so that will make the process easier for you to register. Utkarsh, can you share the video?
Sure. Just a second. Okay, this is the IPTSE registration process. First, we will be showing the individual process. That is, when a student just go directly to the portal and wants to register themselves. We have a simple
You're not
login procedure.
audible.
I'm not audible.
Yeah, the music is very high, so
Okay, so just a second.
yeah.
I'm audible now.
Yeah, much better.
Okay, so first we are starting with the individual registration. That is when a student wants to go to the portal and directly register themselves. We have a simple procedure of just a phone number and OTP, no remembering of passwords and all that hassle. Once, if you're a fresh student, you will just go to the portal, enter your number, and you will directly be leaded to the sign up page. If you're already a registered student, you will be directly redirected to the dashboard. Enter your name, email, professional, college student, working professional or faculty, then your university, the state, and a source of information, and which exam you want to register for. In the case of university students. Okay. After the signing up, you have to choose a course pack which you want to select. One is the basic and the premium, as Anmrit ma'am must have informed you. Okay, after the selection of the pack, there are many payment options you can do. Just enter your phone number, email, and then choose whether it's the UPI or net banking or cards. Okay, so after this is a bulk registration process. That is when the university wishes to register as students on a bulk level. Enter the university email, verify the OTP there. Okay, choose who you are, whether school, university, an organization, or a startup. Details from the spokesperson from the organization. Okay, so here's a sample data file of how the data should be entered and then uploaded back to our system. Here it shows total 7 entries added was in the Excel file. And after this, there will be the payment stage where it shows record 7. And remember, all these payments are for the basic pack only. If the student wishes to upgrade to the premium pack, they can do it from the dashboard. Okay. And after this, again, there's a simple payment procedure, whether it's net banking, card, or UPIs. and you can choose if you want a bulk invoice on the school or university level or individual invoice for the students. Thank you.
Thank you, Utkarsh. So I would like to inform you that we are offering a 10% discount in the basic pack as well. So you can just visit our site and register for the exam. Any other queries, any other issues? Any feedback?
You may just inform them that only those who have registered through the portal will be issued the certificates, right? So because that was earlier conveyed to the faculty and that was the process to be followed. So only those will be receiving the certificates who have actually registered through the portal. So. Yeah, I think. Jaspreet ma'am, you may please convey it to your students accordingly.
Yes, ma'am, the message has been already conveyed to the students.
Yeah, because some of them, I think they've directly joined this link.
Yes, ma'am, they have
without
directly
registering.
joined the link. Yes, ma'am, they have
Yeah,
not
so in
registered.
that case, it would be difficult for us to issue the certificates to them.
Okay, ma'am, the message has been already
Sure. Okay, no
shared with
worries.
them, and after the
Yeah,
workshop, I will again share the message with them.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Dr. Jaspreet, just want to check. I hope that you are also aware about the category for the university for this IPTC 5th edition. You are aware about this?
No, sir, I'm not aware about that.
Okay, so, acha, okay. Anurit, you want to add something for the best university?
So basically, we have a award for the best universities also. So the thing is that we have three ranks: AIR 1, AIR 2, and AIR 3, and that is given on the basis of maximum participation of students. So
Patients. So I think if you talk about the last 4th edition of the IPTSC, which we have done on 19th of April at FICCI, and that was a very wonderful event. Dr. Runjun Tandon was also there from LPU that time, but your university name was not there in the best university across India. But this time, I'm sure I'm looking forward to see your university in the best category. I think we'll work on this.
Sure, sir. I will definitely discuss this thing with Dr. Runjun Tandon, and definitely will be a part of this.
100%. Sure. And even the faculty members, they can also enroll in the faculty category for the examination.
Sure, sir. I will share the
there is a-
message with all the faculty members of the university, and they can definitely take a part in this.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
thank
Okay,
you.
thank you, participants. Thank you.